guys, if you're new to Deception Bytes, hit the like and subscribe button and be sure to hit the bell to be notified of future videos. If you wish to support the channel, the links are in the description below. Now, fasten your seatbelt. Here we go. Okay guys, it is Saturday, August the 3rd, and it is 9:31 p.m. Eastern Time. Now, there are no Q posts, but of course we've had a very dramatic happenings in Texas. I am going to have to be using code words because I noticed that on Twitter and so forth, people are being kicked off and put into Twitter jail just for even mentioning it. So I'm going to have to be very, very careful, or this video will never make it, for you guys to see it. So let's come over here and let me just get started here. Now, I had started this morning early and got everything prepared, and then I had gone out to do some errands and so forth. And when I got back, I realized, okay, I'm going to have to address this. Let's call it a fruiting, because nothing makes sense about this at all. And the stories even earlier today were just kind of all over the place. And I thought, okay, there's something not right here. Really, really not right. Now, of course, in the back of my mind, I was thinking about Q saying, that the FFs, of course, we know that they are a particular kind of flag, that they, to have I think it was 24 or 48 hour alert, and to be on alert. And there's a lot of interesting things about this. And the more I get looking at it, the more things open up that something's really, really wrong here. So I do have a lot of other things to bring you, but I'm going to start with this, and we'll see if I run out of time, then, at least I'll have gotten in the most important piece. So let's go up to the top here and begin with this. I'm telling you, I have a feeling that I'll be bringing much, much more about this tomorrow, because I have been looking into it and it's like it's never ending. It's a big, big, deep, dark rabbit hole, really. And I don't believe for a second that this was not planned, if you know what I mean. And I think you do. So let's just start. These aren't in any particular order, but we're just going to start with a few things. I'm staying away really from, for the most part, from any mainstream media sources aside from Fox News, but Fox News is going with the acceptable narrative now as well. So I don't trust any of them at this point, not even Fox. So, but let's see. There's a few things here I want to get to. Texas Lieutenant Governor tells Antifa to stay out of El Paso after Walmart shooting. Fruiting. All right. Texas Lieutenant Governor Dan Patrick explicitly warned the left-wing group. I'm not going to use that word. At least I'm going to try not to. I'm going to call them peas and carrots. Only because I really hate peas. They're the nastiest thing I can think of eating. So I'm going to call them peas and carrots from now on. And it was a fruiting. All right. So he explicitly warned the left-wing group, Peas and Carrots, about coming to the state following Saturday's mass fruiting at an EP for that place in Texas, Walmart. The fruiting, see, I can't even go by my own rules. The fruiting came 29 days before a scheduled visit from Peas and Carrots, which planned to conduct a border, well, this word right here, I really have to be careful. And I know some of you probably think I'm being silly, but you know how many people have been kicked off of YouTube just because they said the wrong thing. And right now they are censoring this stuff big time, actively censoring it on YouTube, everywhere it's being censored. And people's comments are just disappearing. Sorry, I have a very itchy back. people's comments are just disappearing that they make. So it's very odd. And please, 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 please do not discuss it in the comments below unless you substitute words, please, because I will lose this channel. And that's facts. So anyway, the fruiting came 29 days before a scheduled visit from Peas and Carrots, which planned to conduct a, let's call this a BR, and hopefully you can see this well enough to see. It was a militancy training tour. Stay out of EP, Patrick told Peas and Carrots during an appearance on Fox News. He noted that the group wasn't usually welcome in Texas. They especially weren't welcome after the fruiting. Multiple, okay, let's just stay out of Texas, basically, Patrick said. We don't need them coming in on September 1st. We didn't need them coming in before this happened. A flyer for the event posted on Twitter by conservative journalist Andy Go, I think is how you pronounce that, but correct me if I'm wrong. I probably am. Showed people shooting arrows at a tower near what appeared to be a border fence. The group issued a call to action for 10 days in EP. Peas and Carrots is known for violent protests and attacks on police and journalists, including Go. Now, I'm bringing this up because they had pretty much notified everyone that they were going to do this. And you've got multiple victims, or even, well, they're not victims per se. They're people that survived and were eyewitnesses. And they said there were several people dressed in black. Now, who dresses all in black? That's right. So, but one by one, they're being taken off. When I first started hearing about this, you would hear this, little smatterings of this here and there. Now, they're all gone. They've all been taken down. So, and people are, if you mention it on Twitter, you will be put in Twitter jail. And it'll be erased. Your post will be erased. So, Patrick also expressed confidence that Texas would rally together and stay strong after the fruiting. We're never going to give up to the fruiters, never going to give up to the lawbreakers, he said. Sorry, I'm having to think to censor this. Patrick said there were between 15 and 20 these in the fruiting, but did not specify a number of, Vanessa Sens, a witness, told Fox News that she heard several Pop-Tarts near the area and saw a man in a black shirt and cargo pants with a weapon fruiting outside the building before entering the place where a lot of people go, right here. So he was just pointing at people and just fruiting. He was just fruiting them, she added. So this is just important because, I'm thankful that Fox is at least reporting this because others aren't. And I think that, we've seen this, that Fox seems to tend a little bit more towards telling the truth than the other networks. But still, they don't go all the way as they should. All right, so let's go back. And again, I apologize that I'm having to do this, but I'm hoping that 99% of you will understand why, because we know what's happened to a lot of Twitter people that we used to listen to. Not Twitter, I'm sorry, YouTube. People that we used to listen to and enjoy what they had to say, and then just suddenly they're gone. Well, this is why, because they censor. And they're most certainly censoring this, definitely. And if somebody hasn't been censored, then maybe they've escaped the censors. But I'm telling you, I can see on Twitter that it's just, you even mention it, and out you go. So let's go back. And again, please be careful with your comments, please, because they do censor them as well. They look at comments and stuff. It goes through the algorithms as well. So if they see a lot of comments on something that has a picture of a kitten on there, and it says, you know, you should be talking about one thing, and then all the comments are about, not about fruitings, then you know, they're not actual fruit, then yeah. So all right, now this from our president, Donald J. Trump. Terrible fruiting in EP, Texas. Reports are very bad. Many shilled. Working with state and local authorities and law enforcement, spoke to governor to pledge total support of federal government. God be with you all. And let's see down here. Next one I have here. It's a little bit awkward to listen to this because I'm substituting words. I realize that, but I don't know how else to do this and get the information out. Okay, now this says, end this, and then this word right here, Trump 2020 Dems lead response to EP mass fruiting. White House says President Trump has been briefed, is monitoring situation in EP. President Trump and his potential White House rivals led the political reaction to Saturday's fruiting in EP department store, with Senator Cory Booker making a dramatic call to end this word right here, fruit festival. End this fruit festival. Trump told a pool of reporters the president has been briefed on the fruiting, and we continue to monitor the situation. White House Deputy Press Secretary Stephen Groves said in a statement, adding that Trump had spoken with Texas Governor Greg Abbott and Attorney General William Barr. Trump later tweeted, "Terrible fruiting in EP. Reports are very bad. Many shilled." Working with state and local authorities and law enforcement, spoke to governor to pledge total support of federal government. God be with you all. And of course, and I'm not going to go and read all of this, but I'm going to tell you one thing. The Democrats and their supporters are using this situation, as they do every situation, the first thing out of their mouths when they hear about this, which maybe they already knew, I don't know. But the first thing out of their mouths is ban buns. You know what I'm saying. Ban buns. No more buns. I'm making myself laugh, and this is no laughing matter at all. But it's ridiculous that we have to do this. It's absolutely ridiculous. But that is the world we live in right now, unfortunately, and I'm hoping that it changes for the better. Soon, very soon. Anyway, so that is basically what this is about. You know, Trump, of course, you know, is saying one thing and offering condolences and so forth, and then, you know, you've got the Democrats immediately. It's the ban bun narrative everywhere. That's all they're talking about. Yeah, that doesn't help the people right now, the people that are dealing with this, dealing with the trauma of what they've seen, number one, dealing with the trauma of barely escaping with their lives, and those dealing with loved ones that are victims. How does that help them? Oh yeah, well, we need to ban buns. Well, maybe if one or two of those people had buns, there wouldn't have been the mass fruit festival, right? That's how I look at it. They could have protected themselves. Vice President Mike Pence said he was saddened by the loss of so many innocent lives in EP. Our prayers are with the victims, their families, and the entire community. Grateful for the courageous efforts and swift action by federal law enforcement and local first responders. Now, that is an appropriate response. That is, right there. Wishing them condolences. You know, okay, they want to have that conversation down the road about banning, oops, I'm sorry. I hope that wasn't too loud. I just hit my elbow. Anyway, you know, if they want to talk about that down the road, the Democrats, because, you know, but what kind of a human being, the first thing they hear about it, the first thing they hear is not to offer condolences to the people that are injured, the people that, you know, are traumatized because of what they saw, barely escaped with their lives. No, they don't do any of that. It's just they have to stick to their narrative because, you know, they don't want any, you know, tragedy to go to waste. Yeah, it was extremely inappropriate how all of the Democrats responded. And then you've got the corporate account for that department store tweeted, "We're in shock over the tragic events at," and I'm not going to say the name of the mall, EP, where store 2201 and Club 6502 are located. We're praying for the victims, the community, and our associates, as well as first responders. We're working closely with law enforcement and will update as appropriate. That is an appropriate response. That is. Not pushing an agenda, just offering condolences. Anyway, Attorney General William Barr released a statement saying the Justice Department joins in mourning with the people of EP. Those who commit such atrocities should be held accountable swiftly and to the fullest extent the law allows. That is an appropriate response. The EP mayor also tweeted his sympathies for the city on behalf of himself and his wife, Adair. That's appropriate. But let's see if they go through any of the Democrats' response. Oh, here's Beto. Truly heartbreaking. Stay safe, El Paso. Please follow all directions of emergency as we continue to get. Okay, well, now that is appropriate right there. But who was it? Okay, maybe it was Buttigieg. That was, I think he was speaking somewhere. And of course, he was like right into the ban buns narrative. Oh, here's okay, here it is. My grandmother used to take me to the CV mall. My grandmother. Now it's just one more mass fruiting scene. How many more must grieve before we act? Yeah. Where's that coming from? We know exactly where that's coming from. Oh, I bet his grandmother never took him there. But it just sounds so, you know, oh, yeah, my grandma used to take me there, and now all these people dead from fruitings. And then there's old Joe Biden. Yeah, here's his response. Heartbroken to hear the news from EP. Our thoughts are with those impacted by yet another senseless act of bun. Not going to use this word either. In America. Of senseless act of fruiting. In America. Just another one. How many lives must be cut short? How many communities must be torn apart? It's past time we take action and end our bun fruiting epidemic. And then there's Bernie Sanders. Here it is. Everyone in America, myself included, is devastated by the news of the latest attack in EP. Sadly, after each of these tragedies, the Senate does nothing. That has got to change. Is this a time for politics? I don't think so. I don't think so. I just, I just wish that somebody had been there that had been armed, really, that could have done something. But of course, and you look at these places that are bun-free, no buns allowed, and they are the most violent hellholes in America. Really. Oh, and here's some Heels Up Paris. Last week it was Gilroy, today EP. How can our country tolerate this? My prayers are yet again with families who are grieving, and my thanks are with first responders, but this is not enough. We must act. Right. And Cory Booker. Enough! Enough! Corn! Ready for to be cut? No. I don't know. I just like saying that. We need to end this national nightmare, praying for everyone affected by this unspeakable tragedy and for our country to find the moral courage to take action to end this fruitage. So notice the big difference between how the two parties act. One, it's about the victims. It's about offering condolences and prayers. The other, it's about getting their agenda across. Why? Because they don't want any person in America to have a bun. That way they have complete and utter control over us. That's what it's all about. That's what it's all about. They don't want us to be able to defend ourselves. No. And Amy Klobuchar, my heart breaks for EP and those fruited and injured by another mass fruiting. This can't keep happening. It just can't. Every day Congress refuses to act and pass bun laws is a horrible omission of responsibility. This is a tragedy. She is a tragedy. And Julian Castro, again, honestly, I could just write this stuff for them because they're all saying the exact same thing. This attack is a tragic reminder of our government's failure to do its most basic duty to protect American lives. We need bun reform now. Yeah, so anyway, I wanted to show you that and I'm not going to go through all of this because it's just not all that important, but I did want to highlight that for you, the differences and how they take every responsibility to push their agenda, because they're not thinking about the victims at all. Do you think they care? No, they don't care. If they cared, they'd want these citizens armed. They don't. They care about themselves, their pocketbooks, and their power, and that's it. They don't care about America. They don't care about you. They don't care about me. So let's go back here and go on. Now, this by Randy Savage. Someone did a My Life lookup of the alleged fruiter. And according to public record, he's a Democrat. How's that going to fit with their agenda? And then it says, will Twitter delete me for this? Yeah, they probably will. Because at the time I saw this, I think it had one, let me see how many, let me see if it says how many. Okay, so it was just in its infancy. already. I mean, this had just been posted when I saw it, so it probably won't get that far. But yeah, he's a Democrat, and I don't actually believe that that is the actual shooter anyway. Fruiter. And this by Mary C. His father looks to be Luciferian as well. Q told us in drop 995, trace the background of the fruiter. Focus on father, 20 years. Q. Now, this didn't have to do with this latest situation. This was back a while ago, and I think it might have been in response to the Broward County fruiting. But this is the EP shooter's father. Interesting looking dude. If this is true. Again, a lot of this is just, there's so much out there, and it's really hard to differentiate what's real and what's not. But if this is true, then yeah, that's a strange looking dude, very Luciferian looking. Let's go down here and let's look at this, if it's still there. Okay, so here an EP report, Times reporter captured this eyewitness account, and the man stated he saw the fruiter twice, clearly indicated that the fruiter was in all black with a mask. Who does that sound like? Where have I heard that before? That attire before? So I'm not going to play this because time is my enemy right now. But and this person says something doesn't add up here. There's more to this story than meets the eye. Oh, you can say that again. And this is the picture of the fruiter. He's not dressed in all black, as almost all the eyewitness said originally, and he doesn't have a mask on. What's up with that? Don't know, but I'd like to. Now, this is really interesting. This by Andy, I think it's Go. I'm not sure how to pronounce that last name. Antifa. What was I going to? Oh, Peas and Carrots. Peas and Carrots is leading a border resistance, this kind of training. Hang on, let me make this bigger. Okay, that's the okay. It is. Hang on, where was I here? Militancy training tour that will converge on a 10-day SIEGE in EP. The promotional image shows border enforcement officers being fruited, and government property. What's the word for this? I don't know. ROMmed. This is getting ridiculous. Organizing, asking for WHITE comrades to pay for others. Now, let's take a look at these. All right. And you can see let me see if I can make this bigger, because I really need for you guys to see this. Well, it's not getting bigger, is it? No, it isn't. Anyway. It says stories and firsthand accounts of the last year of autonomous organizing on the order, featuring, and it has, hopefully you can read this, because I just don't, the more things I give the algorithm to latch onto, the more chance that not only will this video be pulled, but I'll be pulled from YouTube as well. So, and you can see them, they're putting arrows, setting things on fire here. There's people being allowed to come over the border here. They're letting people come over the border, probably freeing them. And then it says where these tours are going to happen here. And September 1st is Meet Me in TX. And let's go to another. Here is another one, call to action, September 1st to 10th in EP. Well, okay, I know this is not September. I fully realize that. But still, don't you think it's interesting that all these people are saying they saw multiple people dressed in black with masks? And here's the other thing. It wasn't just, as it's being reported by many, it wasn't just at that particular department store where the fruitings happened. There were others that weren't reported. Why? And they were also persons that were dressed in black. And here it says, abolish ICE, shut it down, register, donate. So just interesting, more interesting things as far as I'm concerned. And let's come down here, see if there's anything under here. Yeah, nothing's, see, most early reports were of multiple fruiters. So even on the police scanner, they were reporting that. Yeah. And it says that's a second report of people seeing people in black and multiple fruiters. And this person said, I heard several eyewitness accounts of this. And someone else says, yep, it's amazing how many people will follow exactly what the media wants them to believe. I bet they scrubbed that interview from the internet before long, since it doesn't fit what they want everyone to believe. Well, that's the truth. And it says this is going to fall into the memory hole, just like VEGAS did. They're just practice runs. I don't know. And it says, one question I would like to raise, how did this man know immediately what type of bun, the fruiter was using? I think it's too coincidental that he named the particular gun, the particular bun, and knew what it was. Well, I don't, because I don't know much about, buns, but I know what that looks like just because it's just always all over the news. So I think most people know what it looks like, I would assume. I know a little bit about hand buns, but nothing like that. But I still know what one looks like, and I'd probably recognize it if I saw it. So anyway, yeah, there's a lot about this, and none of it makes sense. And it says this by Stephen Lundgren. Okay, I'm not one for throwing things out until confirming facts, but this video is way the F off the news narrative. Who is this being taken from a car in khaki pants and black V-neck t-shirt nonchalantly to a crosswalk? Definitely not in the MALL. So let's take a look at this. Let's see if I can get this a little bigger. I don't know if there's... That is odd, because that kind of matches the the description of the one that they took into custody, but it doesn't make sense. I don't know. It's all very, very strange, and the more you look, the stranger it becomes. It says it was EP in specific. As soon as I heard the news, I thought it had something to do with their peas and carrots recent talk about coming to EP. And it says, this is crazy. Either there was more than one fruiter. The pics show the arrested one has beige pants. Another woman on air said she saw army camouflage pants also. And this guy says all black with a mask. Or something really fishy is going on. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Big time fishy. So, and then, of course, we had the warning from Q. So, all right, let's go back now because there's more. There's always more. And in fact, really, I could do probably several hours of this because there's just so much out there. But I'm really wanting some of this to be vetted before, you know, because whenever you have a tragedy, people are very hyped up and, you know, they can see things that, you know, it's like I used to work for the police. Two people can see the exact same accident and describe it completely differently. But does that mean that they're trying to cover up something? No, not necessarily. But I think when, you know, they get basic things wrong, like, you know, well, it was a yellow car. No, it was a green car. Well, maybe one of them's colorblind. But when you say there's a bunch of people, like, all dressed in black, all wearing masks, all carrying buttons, then you got an issue there. Because come on, you don't just, there were several people that said this. Why, what would be the motivation of saying that if it wasn't true? There's too much about this that I don't get at all. Well, I do get it. It's just another FF. All right, now, this comes directly from the article about halfway down, and we're not going to go out to the article, but it says about halfway down, Adriana Cozeda, 39, said she saw 4 men dressed in black moving together, firing their guns indiscriminately, but the police say there was only one. So what's that? How do you just see 4? Like, how do you see 4 and there's only one? You know, I mean, I just don't see how somebody can be that off. Now let's look at this. And it says, Twitter games won't keep the news from getting out. This is straight from a police scanner. Retweet, retweet, retweet. Well, many of the people that have retweeted that are not retweeting anymore, if you get my drift. So I'm not about to, but this is by Brendan Dilley, and he said, I'm not going to say this word, HLS and EPPD are now actively looking for fruiting teams that are still mobile and in the nearby area / cities. Stay the F indoors. This is not a one-off random fruiting. This is a well-coordinated attack with many fruiters, hearing as many as 18. Now, he's getting that from the police scanner. So how do you account for that? There's a whole lot of people saying that there's teams, and they're dressed like peas and carrots. I think that's a little, and this person says they want lots of I don't know. You can see that word, and gore, and that word there, for their big splashy FF event. So we can't be telling people about teams of fruitings or anything that might save lives. Yeah, there's a whole lot of about this, and really, see, this is one person that's, oh no, this is, never mind, that was something else. So I don't know. I need some time to kind of go through this and vet it all, because there's so much. It's just so different. What you're hearing on the news is not at all what eyewitnesses are saying at all. But that shouldn't surprise us, should it? You know, and these eyewitnesses, a lot of them, you'll never hear about them on mainstream media. You'll hear about it on Twitter or Facebook or YouTube, and then they're going to scrub all that, just like they do with every other. If it doesn't fit the narrative that they've come up with, then that's it. It'll be scrubbed. So it's important that while this stuff is happening, and I think we've learned this over, you know, all the different FFs that we have faced as a nation, that you have to grab things and screenshot things as they're happening, because they'll be gone within hours. Once they come up with their narrative, all that stuff is scrubbed. And they bring in the crisis actors. So, all right. Okay, so let's stop that and go back to, where am I here? Here we are. I think, actually, we may have already looked at this, and we did. And I, the Spy, says, we knew this was coming. Peas and carrots equals domestic terrorism. So, yeah. Now, that is all I have on this, because I'm not going to go out to CNN and, you know, spout off the narrative that they're saying, because I don't believe it for a minute. Now, they have reported now that there are 20 people that have been successfully fruited, like as in, that's a lot. It's horrific, absolutely horrific. Now, I do believe that there are that many, at least I do. But I don't know. That's the thing. Until we start hearing from people that were actually there, and they're being censored big time. But the more we hear from people that were there, or people that are know people that were there, whatever, we're not going to know. We're not going to know if it was even real. I believe it was. I believe that there was a real event. And I think that there was more than one, and it was covered up. That's what I believe, personally. But an opinion is just that. It's an opinion. It's not fact. So this is something we're going to have to stay on top of, and I will. And I'm going to be looking at it even in greater depth tonight after I'm finished recording, because it's something that I feel like I need to get on to now, because the story is going to change completely in the next couple days, and we know it will. We know it will. It always does. It always does. So just like those people that have saved little things from when the big event in New York City happened in 2001, those people saved those things, and they were things that went against the narrative. And otherwise, we might have a totally different picture if there had not been witnesses that saved things. So anyway, there you go. Now, I think right now, because this whole thing has centered around one topic, I'm going to stop the video. And hopefully I will be back and do at least another short video to catch up some of the news, because there's a lot. In fact, no one person can keep up with it all, really. But I'm going to try and get you up to date, at least on the stuff that is happening right now, as in today or yesterday. All right, so that's it for this video, and I hope you guys stay safe and stay well. Please stay safe. And if you see something, say something, because I don't think that this is over. I don't think that this is just one event and nothing else. I just don't. And you may live in the middle of nowhere and think, oh, nothing ever happens around here. Well, don't be too sure. because I don't think anybody anywhere is safe completely, as long as America has the enemies that it has. So just pay attention wherever you are. If you're at a local mall and you think, oh, you know, this is middle America, nothing ever happens here, people leave their keys in the car, we don't even lock our houses. Well, wouldn't that be more terrifying, you know, to strike somewhere like that? Because you expect these things to happen in the big cities. You don't expect it out in the middle of nowhere. You just don't. So you never know. Anyway, please stay safe, and my prayers are with you all. And please pray for, if you are a believer, please pray for those that are affected by this, what occurred in EP. Please pray for them, their families, and even the people that were eyewitnesses, because I am sure they are very, very traumatized. So we just continue, our prayers are with them. And I don't say that in just a really light way. And you know how people say, oh, my thoughts are with you, my prayers are with you, but really they're not actively praying. But please, if you're a believer, take a few minutes tonight before you go to bed and just say a prayer for these people, because they need it. They need it. So anyway, I'm going to be back hopefully in a little bit. I'm going to upload this and take a little break and come back. All right, I'll talk to you guys real soon. Good night.